Welcome to Tablenauts. My name is Max.
I'm Doolin.
I'm Kenny.
Just got back from the best weekend in board gaming,
Yeah,
aka Gen Con 2024. We spent several days in Indianapolis playing the best games, seeing the best games, and seeing the best people, of course. Kenny,
Yes.
what's the first game that you purchased at Gen Con 2024?
It's not the
Well, it
first,
doesn't have to be in order,
Yeah,
okay?
it's not
Just
first.
the game that you want to talk about.
It's not the first game. It's on the top of my stack, and that's Rolling Realms Redux.
He almost said deluxe.
Rolling Realms
mean-
Redux.
Is it deluxe?
No.
I've never played
Define
this
deluxe.
game. Can you sell me on this game? As someone who
Sure.
enjoys roll and rights but hates Stonemaier.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I'm just kidding.
I'll leave it to you who bought it.
I typically don't like rolling I mean, I don't love rolling rights, but I do like this because there's a nice novelty to it, where it's basically roll and write, where every little mini game is a different board game.
Is that poker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there's poker in there. There's
Wonderland's War. There's
yeah.
Planet Unknown.
Yep. So
Legacy of You. Flamecraft. Okay.
I like playing it solo. This is not a game I'd probably bring out with other people, but
Oh dang. Okay.
well, I mean, if you want to, but roll and rights feel like me time.
For me, the first one that I purchased, well, again, not in chronological order, and a game that we did actually
So
play,
not the
Doolin and I were able to sit down and play this. This is Dracula vs. Van Helsing. This is by 25th Century Game. This is like it's a 1v1 game where you're basically vying for control of these different areas on a map. And the way that you do that is you are randomly given basically a hand of cards that all have powers and abilities on them and suits on them. And then you are, throughout the course of the round, trying to manipulate your hand to best win the table. What do you think about this one?
I thought it was really cool. I think that they do a really good job with this style of game because it feels like, and you've played this one, it feels like Jekyll and Hyde, or Jekyll versus Hyde, but with area control. And I mean, it's the same art. It's the same. I don't know if it's the same designer or not, but it's the same publisher.
I like the system quite a lot. It's definitely one I want to continue playing. It's not a game that like blew me away or anything, but I liked it and want to revisit it. So that's Dracula versus Van Helsing.
All right, mine. I'm gonna couple three together because
That would not be couple three together. That
triple.
would be.
Well, it actually is, Max. Because if you look, I kinda
okay.
did. So yeah. But this was my literal first purchase of the gun.
Ran 2.
I was very excited because Emily and I love Nana Trio, and this was like the one that
Which is better, non-R Trio?
they're the same game.
Which is better, though?
They're the same game.
No, they're not. Which is
They're-
better?
They're
Kenny, do you have an opinion on this?
they're the same game.
I like None better.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Anyway, I bought Panda.
Same.
I bought Panda for Max. Max paid me back for it, but I bought 2 copies of Panda. And then also, while I was purchasing Panda, the person at the All Play booth was like, "Hey, this is one of my family's favorite games. You should get it too." And I was like, "Done," because it's $9. I can take a chance on $9.
I have a 100% win rate in this game.
You do. We
I
played
do.
it twice. But Panda is good. I think it's great. I don't think it's necessarily as good as Nana or Trio. I don't think it will be as big of a hit as Nana or Trio, but I do think that the crux of the game is fun, and I think it's going to be a hit for my family.
I just realized that the G is the red panda, so it went up about
It's
a half
also-
star in my book.
It's also gold, just like the
Yes.
7
In Nana and Trio.
Nana Trio.
Not in Trio. No, not in Trio. Don't get it twisted.
It
not-
is.
What?
It is gold.
No, it's not.
It is. The whole card is gold.
Is it like shiny?
Yeah.
You're lying.
I'm not.
I like Panda. It's pretty fun.
Hey, thanks for keeping us on track,
Yep.
Kenny. Tell us about Fairy, Kenny.
Yeah.
Fairy was interesting. It's unique. That's what I'll say. You basically it's a game of guessing,
Yeah.
playing the odds.
Thank you. It's a game of, like, educated guessing.
I don't know about that.
It's card counting, Kenny.
Yeah. So my favorite.
I've won twice, so there's
favorite-
obviously skill involved.
My favorite part of the game is that you keep your score by holding your thumb and your ring finger, middle finger, on the track, and as you gain points, you just have to notch it up, which is silly, but it works.
It does work.
Yeah, it works. But basically, what's going to happen is that before a card is flipped, you're going to say if you think it's going to be higher, lower, the same suit, or if you could think it's going to be a fairy, which may
Fairy.
claw.
Yeah, why is the fairy... Why is that?
Because you're going to catch it.
You're going to catch it.
You're going to catch the fairy.
Is that really what you think
Yeah,
it is?
yeah. That's what it says in the rulebook.
Oh. Well, you never explained that rule.
I think I did.
So I think Jamie and I were just like,
Well, I love that Jamie just picked catch
Claw.
every
Every
time.
I think like you were sold on it being a good family game. This would be a really good family game. So, but if you get like maybe like a group of like 5-6 gamers at a con.
yeah.
maybe.
Kyle
It said 2 to 10.
would hate it.
Yeah, that's true.
Why?
Too pretty.
Oh,
Too fun.
too fun.
What?
You know?
No,
Too easy,
not
too
enough-
fun,
Not
too
enough
small.
beige. Yeah.
Not enough beige. No
I don't know.
Nala.
He likes numbers though, and he loves betting.
He does like betting
mean-
and probability.
So this is not new to the exactly new, but it's one I picked up at the con. That's Through the Desert. This is by Reiner Knizia, republished by All Play. This is kind of like a classic, and it's basically like area control path building game. I was really impressed by it. It's like dead simple. Like I learned it like in 10 minutes before you guys showed up. And,
Well, you did give us like the wrong meeples and
it's fine. We got there.
He had the upgraded bits.
Yeah, it's confusing. So, gosh.
the thing that's awesome about Through the Desert is the ratio of rules to gameplay. It's a classic game.
Yep. Like the rule book is like a straight up like 2 pages.
It's brilliant. It was brilliant 20 years ago and it's brilliant now.
Yep, I was very impressed by it. So, and there's a lot to explore too. I got the expansion, and there's like 2 sides to the map. There's a lot to kind of dig into it if you want to. Yeah, I mean, like this isn't like an all-time classic, but it's just really really good.
Yeah, and this is a great production.
Yep, I
I'll
agree.
play knocking it out of the
Well
park once again.
Yep,
That's Through the Desert.
it's one of those things
We
like
all play games in a row that we just did.
3.
3, sorry.
I'd love to
Idiot.
see more of like these classic games get like a really nice production and treatment and make them like classics for many more years to come. So.
Yeah. I almost bought something Circus Flocati, which is a Knizia, and some Penguins game, which is another Knizia done by 25th Century, but I didn't get
Oh.
them this time.
Oh, I saw that Penguin game. I was interested in it as
Yeah.
well. I can't remember the name of it.
I don't remember something about penguins, but Circus Flocati just sounds cool.
Mm.
Circus Flocati. Say that 3 times fast.
Sounds like an Italian dish.
I'm next. I'm going to talk about 2 right in a row because I purchased these because they were $10, buy 2, get 1 free, and then I gave away another copy. Never played either of these. Don't have much to say, funnily enough. Kenny, you've played Bottle Imp. Doolin, you've played Photograph. These are games that are published by Matagot Games. Photograph is one of the Sashi and Sashi, I think is what they're called. Games, yes, Sashi and Sashi, correct. Produced games. It was originally called Wind the Film, I believe, and it just sounded really cool, interesting. I know Jeff and Jamie really like it, so here we are. I knew nothing about Bottle Imp, but I spoke with Jenna from Board Game Garden the night before, who said that she really enjoyed it. So again, they were like $10, buy 2, get 1 free, and I was like, well, it's Sunday, let's buy something else. So
Next up, I purchased. I was really like peer pressured
you were super peer pressured.
into buying Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. However, I'm excited to play this. This is a single player version of Gloomhaven, which is how I played through all of Jobs on the Line anyway. I've not heard much about whether it's good or not, but it's Gloomhaven.
It
so
just
how
came
bad can it
out
be?
like a month or 2 ago, so
Okay.
it's not like it's not been out for a long time.
It's based off like a fan made creation.
Yeah, like
Oh.
called Gloom Holden. Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Which I really appreciate at Cephalo Fair. They're really open to like taking up the community's ideas. My next purchase was A Message from the Stars.
God,
Oh my gosh.
stop! We are such all play fanboys.
They make
We
lot
just
of
did a
games.
video for all of them.
We did well. Oh, just that was a while ago, wasn't it? Wait, have we done it? We didn't even do it yet. We just talked about doing it.
Anyway,
Anyway, this is like kind of like a party-ish game where one person's is like an alien race, and you have a certain set of like letters you can use, and you're gonna give hints to the other team, and you're gonna get points based off of what letters you use and the word you're sending to them, and whether they can actually guess it. So it's like something in the like lineage of like code names or
Mysterium maybe.
yeah. But I like the theme a lot, and I think it's
fitting.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. I heard it like a lot of people from Origins really loved it.
Play 6+. Next on my list, you know what? Let's talk about these 2 because I'm gonna do a double feature because I bought these both at the same place.
Good games.
Rebel Princess and Sears Catalog. This is the deluxe edition. I believe this game was out in I can't remember Japan, Spain. I don't recall. I'm sorry. But this was the bringing it over to America. Was published by Bezier Games as well as Sears Catalog. This was another game that used to be called Of What's Left. It's designed by Taylor Reiner, who is Taylor's trick-taking table, if you are familiar with his YouTube channel at all. And both of these were the first thing I purchased at Gen Con 2024. Sure. Stood in a very long line because Bezier was crazy. Turns out they had 1 million copies of these. However,
I actually bought the last of the 4 copies of Sears catalog on Sunday.
You bought all 4 copies?
All 4, yeah. If you want to buy them, just and let me know.
But I'm very happy I purchased these on Thursday because I played them multiple times throughout the course of the week. We played Rebel Princess 3 times, and that does not even include the multiple occasions where we pulled it out and played like a hand and put it away because we had something else going on.
It was a game we played on top of other board games.
Yeah, we were waiting for someone to get there playing Arcs, and we just pulled this out instead. They're really good. I do prefer Rebel Princess over Sears Catalog, but I really like them both. And I mentioned on the pod on Board Game Box Office how much that I was disappointed in the Sears catalog theming going away from Of What's Left. But after having played it, I'm really not mad about it. I think the theming works really well. It's still a good-looking game, though it isn't as whimsical and cool as Of What's Left. But that's Sears catalog. The one thing I did see mentioned online is that apparently Of What's Left played with 2 wilds and no artifacts. That was like how the game worked. And a lot of people just prefer that, but I do think the artifacts are really cool. I want to try it both ways though, just to see. So
I don't know which one I like more. I might lean more this one.
Really?
I really like it.
I like them both.
The theme of this one is better.
Oh yeah.
But I love the like once you get below 6, the trying
you have to
maximize
play
points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of card games that were hits for at least me, Courtesans by Pandasaurus, which out of all of the games that I came to the con like wanting, this one was the one that like especially hit the way that I was hoping that it would. Because all of the things that we talked about, because it wasn't in a video but it was on the pod where I was
missing out if you're not listening to the pod, I'm just saying
everything I saw about it reminded me of a little bit of Biblios, a little bit of what's the name of the game I'm thinking of Hidden Leaders. We had, at least I had a lot of fun playing this, and it was mean but also silly and strategic at times where I wasn't quite sure because of spies and times 2s how the game was going to turn out. And I've done poorly at this 2 times in a row. The only 2 times we played, I came in last both times. But I really enjoyed it. And it's one that I look forward to continue playing because it's good.
I adored this game. I really, really liked it. Like Rebel Princess, this is one I actually went out on Sunday to go buy, but I went to the wrong booth. But yeah, this I thought it was like, it's dead simple to play, but like there's a lot of like a pretty strong, like a pretty interesting decision space every time, depending on what you get. Like sometimes you're going to give good cards or bad cards, and you just have to really consider like, what am I going to do with this hand to win the game. So, and I think one thing to call it too is like the production in the game is really nice. Yeah, art is beautiful. Like they have like
$20
they have like these really nice foil cards. Yeah, this is one I'm definitely going to pick up. I'm gonna have to do it online because I went to the wrong booth. So.
I also really liked Courtesans. It's also just a quick game. Like you said, it can be mean, but it's so short that like that meanness doesn't really feel bad. Yeah, this was a big surprise. I mean, I know you mentioned it on the pod, and I was looking forward to playing it, but having not really heard of it prior to you mentioning it, I really, really enjoyed my time with this for sure.
So my last game is Spectral. This is by Ryan Courtney, published by Batwing Games, and this is like a pretty simple deduction game, like plays in less than 30 minutes. We've played it twice at the con, and I really like it. It's thinky without being overly complicated, and it's like one thing with the interesting decision space in the game is you have to like, you're not going to know everything in the game, so you have to kind of figure out, okay, what is the stuff I need to know to get the most points. And which I think is probably the most interesting bit about the game. My one regret is I bought the deluxe version. I'd probably just recommend getting the smaller version because it comes in a smaller box. And the deluxe components are very nice, but they're a bit over the top. So I think even the deluxe bits cost more than the base game. But hey, when you're in Gen Con, you're going to Gen Con. So
when you're at Gen Con, you're going to Gen Con. I really like this. I thought it was awesome. I love that there's like a 2-part deduction where it's like, I'm deducing by going to spaces and figuring things out, but on top of that, I'm also trying to deduce the things I don't know and don't have time to figure out based off of what you guys are doing.
Yep.
And it's just really good.
Murray the Soul Frog. This is designed by Jenna Felly and published by Devious Weasel Games. I even got it signed by Jenna. I am a huge proponent and fan of Devious Weasel Games. I love the weirdness and wackiness that their games bring to the table, literally. And I think that Murray the Frog is no exception. This is a game that we've played last Gen Con. We played the prototype of cards with a rubber band around it and had a wonderful time. It is a very silly, mean game, at least in the prototype form. We have yet to play the full produced copy. I'm not sure what all there is as far as changes go, and I'm looking forward to playing it. So this was a must pick up for me. And then I also purchased a game that I'm super excited to try out and also a little pensive on, but we shall see, and that is Pagan, Fate of Roanoke. This is by Capstone Games. It's a 2-player game. I believe it actually came out in 2022, but it was kind of hard to get until Capstone took over publishing for it, in the States at least. And you are either a hunter or a witch and struggling against one another. So I genuinely don't know how this plays, but I think of other games like Radlands and just 2-player duel games. I'm not insinuating that they're at all similar, but I like those types of games, and I love this theme, and I think the production is nice. I almost picked up the wooden components, but I ended up not doing so.
Do you have the playmat?
No. The playmat was huge.
It was gorgeous.
It was beautiful, but it looked like it took up so much space. Now, I may play this, and it takes up a lot of space, and if I love it, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to buy the playmat. But we shall see. I do want to try this out first. It feels like a game that could be great, or like I'm a little concerned. I don't know. I'm very interested to try it out. But one of the ones that I was most excited to actually pick up at the con.
It's certainly striking.
It is striking.
Who was there with me when I got
me
Get
and
Bit?
Jamie?
Yeah. So you were there.
Yeah.
I did not need much selling on it beyond what was told.
Can we reenact it?
Sure.
Doolin, you should check out Get Bit. Basically.
So I walk over and I'm like, what are these? And there's like these little divers that are next to this giant shark, and I just heard, like, I don't know, there's just like this innate part of me, I think
Toy
it's like
factor.
a 3-year-old in me that like immediately started pulling apart the diver, because it was like, oh, this guy looks like he can get like bit, and
that's the name of the game.
And then this guy, or Jamie, comes over and she's like, oh, Josh, or Doolin, you're gonna love
she
this.
doesn't call you Josh.
And yeah, she didn't call me Josh. Most people don't. So she's like, Doolin, you're gonna love this. And then there's this guy who was like, I can demo it for you, and I'm like, I don't really need it.
Yeah.
Because he started telling me just a little bit about the game. He's like, you're gonna be playing cards, and whoever has the lowest card played that round is going to be in the very back. However, if 2 players play the same card at the same time, neither of them move, so even the lowest card gets to go to the front. And I was just like, done. Yeah. Absolutely, that sounds so fun. Because then you pointed out, I think what finally sold me on
the player count
was like, you said, oh, Josh, or
no one calls you that,
Doolin, 2 to 7, and I was like, done. I just grabbed it. Or I didn't grab it because I had to go to it.
You had to go buy another area.
I interrupted the guy who was about to demo it to me. I was like, where do I buy this? And he pointed over there, and I was like, okay, bye. I walked away, and I bought it.
If you want to sell a game to Doolin, make it cute. Make it play over 6 player, or up to 6 at least, and make it for children 3 and under. And that's a sell right there, baby.
This is actually based. It's an older game.
It is an older game, yeah.
I remember it was on Tabletop with Will and I've played it a few times. It's fun. It's like kind of push your lucky.
Yeah.
It's good.
Honestly, if I'm comparing it to games I've played before, it kind of reminds me of the feeling of the Go Nuts for Donuts we used to play.
Yeah.
Where if 2 people play the same card again, or go for the same card again, neither of them
both
get anything.
get screwed.
And so it's a little like Take That-y, and it sounds fun.
Yeah.
So the next one is one that like
polar opposite of Get Bit.
Yeah, this is a solo game, and I've talked a lot in the past on videos, especially my top solo games of all time, about a game called Resist. This is made by the same exact person, same exact company, same exact looking design, just a different theme, and I've heard some extra stuff to make the original game better. And so,
plus the theming is way cooler.
Yeah, I might prefer the first theme, but we'll see. I like this. It's beautiful. The witches sound cool, and like they're also like, the witches are not trying to be evil. They're trying to legitimately convince the town that they're good people so that they don't kill them. On top of that, they're having to face evil people, just like in the base game. The resistance is facing off against the Franco regime of Spain. I'm happy to own this because a lot of people say it's incredible. Why are you opening?
I don't know. It's just one of those things, you know. It's hard to resist peeling the plastic off of something. It's hard to witchcraft peeling the plastic off of something.
This is one I like to borrow from y'all, so I can try it out.
Sorry, you're not allowed.
Absolutely.
Don't shut up, Doolin. You're not allowed.
It's mine. I bought it.
You just said it will become mine, okay?
Maybe if it's not different enough.
I hope it's not different enough.
So my next game is actually forgot to bring it
Jesus
I
Christ,
know
Kenny.
my daughter's playing with it. I picked up Necromolds.
Oh yeah.
So Necromolds is a kind of like a beginner's war game. Instead of having a bunch of minis, you're actually given a plot of clay.
My first Warhammer.
Yeah. And you are kind of taking these little molds that have little monsters or figures, and you're just putting clay in there, smashing it together, and coming out with your little mini. And
when you kill one of them, don't you
Yeah, and in each of the minis have stats on them, full blown, it feels like a full blown war game.
Shout out Jeff from Foster the Meeple for being able to solicit this for me. Undaunted 2200 Callisto. It is a hefty boy because of all the different maps that you get in the game. I think that I'm interested. It's mostly going to be a 2 to 4 player game, no real 3 or anything like that.
There's 4?
Yeah, I think it's
up to
2
4?
or 4.
Oh,
one, 2, or 4.
One?
Yeah, there's a solo mode in the box in this one.
Crap on a cracker.
You want to take it home and learn it and play the solo? Because you certainly can. I want to play this a lot, and I'm excited about it. I've never played Undaunted. I've heard amazing things about it, and this theme for me was a huge draw in comparison to the other themes. And so looking forward to playing this sometime very soon.
Great grab.
Thanks, man. It was mostly Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Yes, thank you, Jeff.
And then the last thing.
Oh, wait.
2 and 2.
Sorry.
We established this. Is Dungeon Fighter. I got this at...
Fighter?
Where did I get this at? It's made by
Gen Con.
Hatchet, but it... Dungeon Fighter is a super, super duper silly and also incredibly difficult cooperative game of dice chucking. It's one of those where you you draw a card and it's you must use your non-dominant hand and drop it off the dice off your wrist onto your elbow onto the board and hit the monster in the little target area. This game has been on my want list for a long time. I've actually considered purchasing it multiple times used, and it was brand new for $20 at Gen Con, which is cheaper than you could get it used these days, and so I just immediately jumped right on top of it. And then I put that copy back and grabbed one that wasn't crushed and ran away with it.
So these last two were my most expensive. Both still under 100, which I was proud of myself because I think every year I've always been all right, let's
You
splurge,
considered what?
let's go,
Slay the
splurge.
Spire?
Yeah,
Was
which
the one that you kind of wanted?
Yeah, that would have been the one. If I
Yeah.
had spent over $100, I would have bought Slay the Spire. But
Yeah, should've.
I don't even know if I could have, honestly.
Yeah, there were 25 copies that sold out in the first 15 minutes.
I
every
wasn't
time, something
convinced
like
I
that.
wanted it, and I don't think I could have gotten it.
True.
Anyway, so the first one was also by Osprey, which this sold out the first day. So I'm impressed by that because I didn't expect this game to be as sought after. But then I also found out
Hipster.
I am, that's who I am.
Jesus Christ.
Hipsters don't do that,
Yeah,
Doolin.
that is the
Jesus.
opposite of a hipster.
This is like Peter Parker, right? When his
Bro.
Spider-Man 3 phase.
You're like a kid from the college kid from the early 2000s.
Are you playing Bringing Sexy back right now too? What
right.
did kids drink back then?
I got War Story, Occupied France, and this game is a cooperative game by David Thompson and Dave Neal.
Dave Thompson worked on Undaunted.
Yes, and
Into witchcraft.
What a guy.
I think I made that.
He did.
oh wow, never mind, Kenny.
Idiot.
But this game seems really great. You are playing French resistance people who are trying to manipulate the Nazis who are occupying France, and it tells 3 harrowing tales. It seems like it's going to be pretty heavy in both theme and also difficulty, and I'm really looking forward to...
Is this solo only?
So, no.
Okay.
I think it's 1 to 5.
Ooh, Kwanchai Mori art. Ooh, that's a bit of a departure from. I mean, I see it when I look at it, but that's a bit of a departure from what he would normally do. It's just not as like vibrant and colorful, but I literally don't know how many people this plays to because the box does not. No.
Maybe it's covered up.
Oh,
right here.
oh, there it is.
1 to
1 to
6.
6. Look, Doolin. Play this with your family. I think they'd love it. You just bring to the table, hey, everybody, War Story occupied France. You ready to go?
This one definitely. I want you guys to play with me. I want to play this game with everybody. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? When we looked at this like last year, you were into it. Dungeon Cart by Brotherwise Games. I'm so excited about this. I'm so pumped about it. It looks like Mario Kart the game, and based off of like gameplay I've looked at, it looks like Mario Kart the game, and it's 2 to 8 players. What more can I say?
What more can you
Well, yeah,
say?
it just looks really good. The acrylic standees look awesome.
Did you get the deluxe version?
Oh, I got the deluxe version,
Nice.
Kenny. And I don't
Love it.
normally anymore. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't need the deluxe. But the guy was like, it gives you more characters.
That is true.
It gives you more maps.
Maps, characters.
Like,
That's
all of
not
it.
even just like a deluxe edition.
Mhm.
It's just like a bigger edition,
He-
like expansions included.
He was like, it's $20 more if you can find the base game for that, because they weren't selling the base game at Gen Con.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever.
That's
I
really
want
how they convince you to buy the deluxe.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
That's all we have.
That's all we have. And that's everything we purchased at Gen Con 2024. Board game wise, we spent a lot on food and parking too, but
Ugh, freaking parking.
parking. Am I right?
Steak
so
and
dumb.
Steak and Shake got a lot of money
Dude,
from us.
Steak and Shake, pretty cheap though, and pretty baller.
Mm.
Steak and Shake's great, man.
We have one in Frankfurt. One of these days.
I've
This
went-
episode
I've-
is sponsored by. I'm just kidding.
It should. I wish.
I wish.
Hey, Steak and Shake. Anyone out there?
If-
CEO of Steak and Shake. You
Could you
watching this video?
imagine? Could you imagine every game night we have that they give us like free milkshakes and
Dude.
fries?
They
I
can't-
would.
we-
I
we
would
can't
make
do
sure to
that.
even turn the logo right because I'm a shill for a shake and steak.
They wouldn't even need to give us money. It would just need to be burgers.
Yeah, they can support
Some
us
burgers?
through food.
We can't do that. Our doc should be so upset.